Dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, episode 202.
Yeehaw!
Here we
That's
are.
Better.
Oh my gosh.
Take
202 episodes. And this is our last episode, last but not least episode from KOH 2023.
That's right, the canned episodes.
Holy smokes. We had such a great time on the lake bed and got to talk to so many great people. And this episode is very cool, Chris.
Yep.
We like to feature everybody on our podcast, and especially the young up-and-comers.
That's right.
And we had Braxton Coleman on here, rock crawler extraordinaire at the young age of 14, 15.
Right.
And
We've also had Dawson Allington on the show.
Well, yeah, but he's not 14, 15.
No, I know,
he's
but
in
he's
his
still
young 20s.
Youngin'.
Yeah. Young compared to you. Everybody's young compared to you.
And, you too.
Oh, not that much. So, I'd been circling back with little Charlie here, and I said, hey, you going to be at Trail Harry? He goes, no, my sister's going to be there and my dad. And I go, okay, well, let's circle back at KOH, because I know you're going to be at KOH. So, yeah, I'm going to be at KOH. So we got to sit down with little Charlie
in Studio Lance.
In Studio L Lance on the lake bed.
That's right.
KOH 2023, and cool conversation. I love, I wish I was into rock crawling at his age.
I know, right?
I didn't even know it existed at his age, and I wish I got into it younger. But what a cool kid, and great story coming up here. So why don't we just roll right into it?
Okay, let's do it.
All right, Chris, we are here on the lake bed. KOH 2023.
We're still here?
We're still here. We're still here. Beautiful day on the lake bed. This is our best day yet.
Absolutely.
I don't know how many days we've been here, but it's been a long time. But this is great. And if you're not here on the lake bed, you're missing out. If you're an off-roader, you need to be here on the lake bed. The who's who is here, and we've been cranking out the interviews.
Yes, we have.
And this interview here, we've been working on for a little while.
Yes, sir.
Like most of our interviews, you start making contact through IG, and then say, hey, you want to be on the podcast? And then it's like, well, geographically undesirable over on the other side, the other coast.
Well, they're on the, some people call it the right coast.
The right coast? Yeah, it's the right coast. We're on the left coast. But we have none other than little Charlie here on the podcast today. Welcome.
Hi, how's it going?
Hey.
Happy to be here.
All right.
Welcome to the show.
We're finally making this happen, Charlie.
Yeah.
How you been? How's KOH?
It's great. Happy to be back. Tired. Still adjusting from the flight, but it's been great being out here, seeing everyone, getting to say hi.
So when did you hit the lake bed?
I got here Monday around lunchtime.
Okay. All right. Not bad. So flew in on a private jet and red carpet and all that stuff. Is that?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
See?
Lorenzo wasn't a pilot.
See? Yeah. Hopefully, you know about Lorenzo, right? Our super producer.
No.
Oh, you don't?
He's a drunk.
Where's
He's a drunk
Lorenzo?
donkey.
We're gonna
that
have to
flies
get
jets.
him. Yeah.
God.
Yeah. We'll bring him in here in a second. He's roaming around the desert right now. Yeah. So you hit the lake bed Monday. Today is Wednesday. What kind of wheeling you got in?
I haven't gotten any wheeling in yet.
Oh my God.
No.
I got here. I drove into Hammertown. I said hi to everyone, and it's really it. Just been working yesterday and today. We got out in the morning. We our friend Kyle with Badlands Off-Road Park brought some side-by-sides out. So we were out on our side-by-sides, and I stopped and saw my phone, and I realized that we could do it right now. So we headed straight back here. That's where we're at now.
We've been trying to connect here, and it's as you know, it's super difficult to connect with people on the lake bed unless you have a meet at the fire pit at 1 p.m. or something, right? Like there's certain places that everybody knows, but here we are. So let's start out. How did you get? I know your dad, big off-roader, competed all the rock series and stuff. So you were born into this, but you took a liking to off-roading and stuff. So talk about why you like off-roading and what do you like about it, and how did you get into competition that we'll get into here in a little bit.
So my dad's been rock crawling for a long time. He used to compete all the time. He went from building show trucks when he was like in his early 20s, and he started to see rock crawlers, so he started to do that. And he's done a lot of competitions and stuff. My mom's traveled along with him. We have a lot of friends who do it. So I was born into it. He's been doing it longer than I've been alive. So I was born into it when he had all the cool cars. And what is there not to like about this?
Exactly.
Well, there's the passion, right?
Yeah.
It's like big, awesome cars climbing over boulders. What is there not to like? So I've been watching him as long as I could remember. He put me on a quad when I was 3, a little 50cc quad.
Nice.
And just moving up from that, I think I started rock crawling in my last buggy when I was 8. I started.
Wow.
I think I was 8 when I started that. We would always go out to because New York, so it's about 3.5 hour drive to Pennsylvania for all the places. So we'd always go out to AOAA, and we'd always go and break the new trails there and just go out for fun. Even if it was just on the quads, we were always out doing something.
That's cool.
So who is your dad, just so our audience knows?
Oh, my dad is also Charlie Melchner.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Melchner. So, original Big Silver.
Yeah.
4x4. All right, cool. So how old are you now?
15 now.
15
I
now.
didn't have to think about it this time.
Okay, good. Well, wait till you get older, then you won't even know. You just make up a number, right, Chris? Or you just say over 40, over 50, over 60.
None of your business.
None of your business. So 15, and you started competition rock crawling this past year?
Yes, I did one. I was supposed to do a competition before the Field and Forest one, but that one got canceled for some reason. So I did a Field and Forest competition. We drove out there. It's only same as every other place, just the other way. It was about 3.5 hours, right, Dad?
Okay.
And we went out there. We scoped everything out. I was a little bit. Not a little bit. I was really nervous. Yeah. And then eventually it was raining and stuff the day before, so I was like, oh my God. Because everyone who does rock crawling knows rain does not go well with it.
No.
But we had a lot of friends there. I made some new friends there, friends who my dad's been friends with, but I made some new friends there too. Went out there, just treated it like we were wreck wheeling, really. Try to not rush through it and get stuck, and just tried to stay calm through it. And we got 3rd place in that. It was really exciting.
That's awesome. And a Jesse Haynes chassis.
Yes, my Jesse Haynes moon buggy. We got it from John Connor with CR Fab. It was his old buggy. We bought it, did a bit of work to it to make it fit me.
Yeah.
And it seems we're working great.
Well, yeah. You can drive. So when did you actually physically get behind a wheel of an off-road vehicle, 4x4?
Well,
how young were you?
I was on a quad when I was 3.
Yeah. But then
a full
rock crawlers, I was 8 when I got into
see.
That. Yeah.
So
I've been doing it for a while.
To you.
Yeah, but I've been watching it for so long.
It, studying it, but you get out there, and then what's the wheeling like over there on the East Coast?
The rocks look a lot different, I'll tell you that. Yeah. These are more tan. We got gray and green
and
slippery. Mossy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not bad though. It's definitely different, but it's not as bad as a lot of people out west would think.
Okay.
Well, you have trees.
Yes.
Yeah, you have trees. We got trees. Massive amount of trees.
Yeah, but I mean, you get the spots where you go through them. It's just a lot of the big off-roading places near me are just like the old coal mines and everything. Just around there. That's just we got the huge boulders and everything, huge paths, but it's a lot more just you're going through a forest, just going through there on the big boulders.
Now, is this public land, or you have to go to private parks for the most part?
We always go. We go to Famous Reading sometimes. AOAA. Oh, excuse me. A lot of the time we go to AOAA. And we've been. My first time was when I did the competition to Field and Forest. My dad was only there a handful of times before that, but it was really nice there.
So you started driving at 8 and learning. Of course, you had a great teacher, your father, right? You had a leg up on the competition right out of the gate here, starting to compete this past year.
Definitely.
But rec wheeling, what do you like about going out and just wheeling and rec wheeling and stuff?
Well, there's no pressure. You go out there, you hang out with your friends, you get to go and be like, hey, I want to try that. It won't cost you anything. You're just like, hey, that looks fun. I'll try it. You go up it, you try it. If you don't, no pressure on it. Right. It's just go out there and have fun and hang out. Yeah. There's just nothing wrong with it. It's fun.
You hone your skills out there. And then when did you first drive a four-steer car?
I've drove my dad's into the garage a couple times.
Crab walk it a little bit.
Yeah. Try to get in the door. But my first rear steer buggy was this Jesse Haynes moon buggy. Yeah. And I wasn't like great at it. Still not. I can still work on it. But I knew a bit of it because my dad always had the rear steer buggies. He had the first rear steer moon buggy. Right. He's been around a bit. So I knew a bit from watching him, and I would always spot him on Big Silver and everything.
You calling your dad old?
Not exactly.
He's been around a bit. Come on now.
Right. So, yeah, totally different having a four-steer car and then competing, whole nother element there, and that pressure and stuff. And there's some crazy courses they've set up in this rock crawling. You know, you watching your dad over the years do some stuff, gravity-defying climbs.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, side hilling and tires off the ground and, you know. So, your car before, would you call it Little Silver?
Yes.
Yeah, the little buggy. So I've seen that before. That thing was
it was magical.
Really cool. Magical. I like it. Magical.
You look at it, it did some stuff that you would not believe. It was crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a very good vehicle.
Yeah. So, probably hard to sell that car, huh?
No, it was pretty good. We did a lot of cool stuff that a lot of people that we know, and it's been out there. Everyone saw all the stuff that we did with it. It was like, whoa. I mean, if no one saw what that was capable of, then it would be a little bit harder. But I mean,
even emotionally hard.
Yeah, but it's true. Yeah, so there's a sentimental value of selling that car.
Yeah, that was because that's what I remember. My dad sold his old moon buggy, and he got that, and it was my dad. You used to compete in it, right? Mm-hmm. That used to be. It was my Uncle Jack's, right? Mm-hmm. And my dad competed with that, and then eventually, after he was competing with it, he bought it, and that's what I learned on. That's what I and as soon as I was able to like get it out at KOH and actually get comfortable with all the shift, like I was fine with going slow, but going like somewhat of a speed going through the desert. I was fine. I finally got it all for the most part down, and then it's like move on to the next thing. I was
You're starting to feel real comfortable in it.
Well, do you play video games at all? I mean, does it seem like just holding a game controller? I mean, a steering wheel, and I'm sure the rear steer is a toggle switch, right? Or
yeah, we have my rear steer is on, so my winch control is also on my lever for the rear steer. You just like left and right.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Super easy to toggle.
Oh yeah.
So
nice.
Learning how to drive the rig and getting comfortable with it, but also at the same time, are you also learning how to wrench on it and fix the stuff that's broken?
Yeah.
I mean, your father's kind of...
He's like, yeah.
Because, I mean, you got to pay to play, you know, and the junk breaks.
Yeah, I remember I would always fix up with my dad and do everything. I think the first time I ever broke something was like, what was it, like a 12, 13-year-old drive shaft that was in there for way too long. It was out at... Where were we? Famous Reading? We were out there at Famous Reading, and I was just playing around there, and I was like, whoa, because we heard it, and then we felt it like thumping around under there, and we had like a little like thin shield, so I felt it on my foot, and we were like, all right, that's done. So we took that off, changed it right there.
Shut it down. All good.
So, and then I've seen some videos of you doing a little welding, a little TIG welding and stuff. That's what do you think about that?
I do it because it's fun.
It's hard though, right? You got 3 things going on. You got your foot pedal, you got your torch, and then feeding wire in.
Yeah, and it's our good friend Chris Graham, who I've known my entire life. I flew out with him. He's a really good welder, so he taught me. I started MIG welding probably around the same time as I started driving. Mm-hmm. So I've been MIG welding for a long time. And TIG welding, he taught me a little bit like a few years ago, but then I stopped it, and then I was just MIGging, and then my school has a nice shop, so I started TIGging in there. It was terrible, but like you would look at it and it wasn't that great.
Okay, wait a minute. So your school has a mechanic shop. You guys still have mechanics and woodworking.
That's on the East Coast, dude. East
automotive, metal. We have automotive, metal, engineering, woodwork. We have nice.
Where are you, New York?
Yeah.
Area? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, dude.
See, so I did have shop classes when I was a kid, but that's all like gone away now. It's terrible.
Livermore still has all that stuff.
Do they? Well, you get Cowtown.
Yep.
Yeah, we got
weld the fences.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
We got some nice stuff. So I was just welding scrap there for a while, and then I went back over this year to Chris Graham's house when when you were at Trail Hero, right? Mm-hmm. Dad was out at Trail Hero. I couldn't go because if I want to go away here, can't miss even more school then.
Yeah.
School.
I know, school. That's all right. You're almost done.
But
keep your eye on the prize. More years.
When I was there, Chris Graham showed me some stuff. That was when I first got like a nice bead down. I was like, oh my God, that's
pretty cool.
And it feels so good when you do it. So I would go over like every day to his house. I was going and I was just doing a little bit of work, and then we got it set up at our house to do it. And our buddy Peter Snodgrass, we go over and do some work at his shop too sometimes, and he gave us like some stuff to bring home for our welder, and it's technical, very technical,
but very good skill to have.
It is very fun, and it's like anything. When you do it and you see what you just did, you're like, oh my God, that's great.
Isn't it?
It's just...
Tell them about your exhaust.
My buggy, we had a big exhaust system on the back, but with the altitude difference over here and everything, it was a little bit hard to get the power, so we went and we tried the other exhaust, which was just like, it was cut right off. We tried that one. That was just obnoxiously loud.
Uh-huh.
Like you're on it for a little bit, and it's just like you can't hear anything afterwards. So I ended up, we measured it out, bought some tubing pieces, and I TIG welded a stainless steel exhaust from my buggy.
Nice.
It just bends around the exhaust flange, and then it goes straight out the back. We have like one muffler out the back and then a downspout. It sounds really nice, though.
It does sound good.
It's not too obnoxious, but it sounds nice.
Okay, just enough, right?
Yep.
But yeah, so as learning how to weld and knowing how difficult it is, and then you see like the welds on the Jesse Haynes chassis, right? And you can appreciate that.
It was very, very nice.
Yeah.
It's crazy what people can do with it.
I know.
They've probably been doing it for a while.
It is.
A few years.
Yeah.
Once you get the skill down, what you could do is just crazy, like anything.
Well, be prepared. I mean, the better you get at it, your friends will be coming out of the woodwork.
That's
saying,
right.
Hey, can you weld
welded.
this? Can you weld that?
Yeah.
And,
right.
You know, whether you're out on the trail and you need the trail repair or whatever. I mean, you're going to have a lot of new friends.
Yeah. When we haven't had to use it yet, luckily. We have a Carnage welder that we have just in case we have to use it.
There you go.
But when I was young, not too long ago, like a couple years ago, my dad had like a few friends would like bring some stuff to him and bring it over to the house, and I'd fix it up, and before I was TIGging, I would like MIG weld it, I'd grind it down, make it look all nice. And so I was doing a few jobs here and there for that.
You're comfortable working in the shop there, and then and then other mechanical skills of just maintaining the vehicle. Yeah. I mean, simple oil change and stuff, no big deal. But then you get into like differentials and
U-joints
stuff, and
a lot of confusing stuff.
There's a lot. Yeah, the magic box, that automatic transmission juice box, right? I don't touch those. that is something that's
too fancy,
right? And you just keep fluid going, keep it changed, and No, that's cool. I'm glad to hear that your school has shop class and you're doing all that.
Trying to keep it going.
Yeah.
We have a lot of stuff. They're trying to put as many classes as they can in there. It's just hard, though, because there's, like, the group of kids who work and then the group of kids who'll just go there and just fool around and take it as an extra credit class.
Right.
So it's...
Same everywhere.
That's
Same
it.
everywhere.
Hey, you get out what you put in, so, you know. And obviously it's a skill that you can use as an off-roader.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Because, you know, all these really great off-roaders and, you know, Ultra 4, everything, these drivers are fabricators and you know, work on their own stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
Don't just sit back in an easy chair and say, "Fix my buggy."
Yeah,
there might be some of those. But we don't know them.
A couple of them, but
there you go.
But for the most part, the ones who want it done and want it done right, they'll do it themselves.
Yeah. So let's talk about, you know, you're out here on the West Coast, King of the Hammers. How long have you been coming out here, and what's your thoughts on KOH and the whole thing it encompasses compared to where you're used to wheeling?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You know, it's different type of wheeling.
Definitely different. How long do you think I've been coming here, Dad? Like 5, 6 years, maybe?
6 years.
Okay.
Probably around like 6 years. So I've been out here for a while. Everyone out here has definitely seen me grow from really, really like small little kid to still a little kid, but
Well, no, you're bigger now. I didn't
bigger.
recognize you with the haircut. See,
Yeah, I got-
you're going like army style right now.
I went from a mop on my head to like
Yeah.
an army style buzz cut.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was joking around with my mom, and our barber is a really good friend of ours, so I guess they decided before me and they just took the razor and did a line in the middle of my head.
It's a good KOH cut. Easy to
Low
clean up.
maintenance.
Yeah, low
Yeah.
maintenance out here in the desert for sure.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't it a couple years ago they like challenged you to run through a mud pit or something on the lake bed? Was that? Did you do that?
No, that
Oh, was
wasn't
it
us.
you?
No.
Oh, I thought it was you. There was like, yeah, we had that.
Well, they look
crazy
just
rain.
like you.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So wheeling out here, I mean, what I want to know, because I've never wheeled out in New York, Pennsylvania, the East Coast. So
It's
I want to
different.
know what the differences are that you see.
I mean, I still think anyone who does West Coast and can do East Coast, anyone who does East Coast can do West Coast. It's still wheeling, no matter what it is. But it's rocks are a lot. The texture is they have a lot more grit out here.
Okay.
So that's why, like, some places you'll see them doing like crazy, almost like completely sideways
Yeah,
things.
vertical climbs.
Yeah, and it's not just super smooth. So it's definitely you can do a lot crazier stuff. They have a lot more options for crazier stuff out here because of how open it is in the desert and everything. So there's a lot more room to find all that crazy stuff out here.
Yeah.
Well, and compared to the East Coast, I mean, on the East Coast you have wet weather throughout the year. Of course, you have the snow in the winter.
Oh my God, the snow is just don't even try with that.
No, I know, but because everything's covered. I grew up in Connecticut, so I mean, I'm familiar with the East Coast. Not wheeling per se, but
the weather there.
You know, the weather year round. It's like California when April, May hits, we get no rain. No rain at all until probably October or November of that fall. So we have, you go up into the mountains. Now the high Sierra, you might get these rogue rainstorms that come through in the summertime, but wet rocks for us, it really doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So that's something you experience, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it's definitely we're always out. And I think the last time I went out, where were we? We were at Famous Reading, right? Mm-hmm. It was like wet and rainy there, and that was the time I climbed a huge like wall slab there. It was scary. It took me a few tries, but I finally our buddies Dean and Danny Benner were there, and Danny came up to me and he was like, "You just got to hit it, man." So I loaded it up, I hit it, and I went all the way up. I was like, "All right,
Made it."
Yeah.
Nice.
So you have to adapt. You're learning to adapt to the different conditions that are thrown at you.
Yeah, it's different going back and forth. It takes you a little bit, and then you're like, all right, you get used to it.
Yeah.
Because it's again, a lot more open here than everything else because you're in the woods every other place out East Coast. So you're driving through the woods to get to the trail. Then you're on the trail and you're like leaning over into trees and like. But out here, it's wide open. There are no trees out here.
No trees out here.
We got some cactuses and bushes.
Right?
And
Sagebrush.
giant rocks.
Yeah,
Yes,
giant rocks.
giant rocks.
So do the rocks move over there on the East Coast like they do out here? I mean, like, it's so loose out here.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
It's like some places they're like so like washed into the dirt and everything that it's fine. But I mean, there was what upper tax bracket we did one time at Famous Riding.
Upper
right?
tax bracket. I love these trail names.
Or was that? No, that was at. I'm sorry, that was at AOA.
Upper tax
Right?
bracket.
We're in the
sorry,
lower.
yeah,
we're
that
in
was-
the lower tax bracket. So.
Yeah, KOH. This is the lower tax bracket.
That was at AOA. I'm sorry. So we went there, and obviously no one runs that trail. It's one of the hardest ones there. So we went, and they made a bypass going straight from the front hill. But we were there when we broke so many trails there. We were like because they invite like a group of people to go out and try it. We're like always there. So we knew where the actual start was and where to go around the certain areas. It was so overgrown. Trees were falling down over it, but you could see the line that was just because like it goes and then it has a straight uphill from there. You could see going down from there. They made their own little
Really?
yeah, they made a bypass there to go through.
Okay.
But all the rocks up there, it was terrible. It was so loose. It was just rocks flying everywhere. It was
Only 3 people have ever climbed that.
yeah, 3 people:
And you were one of the 3?
Dad, me, and Andrew Nadera.
Nice. Look at you guys. Breaking trail.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's tough.
So, so obviously you wheeled East Coast. What else have you done here? You've done KOH. I know you've done Trail Hero, Sand Hollow area. What other trails throughout the states have you run?
So my dad's been a lot of places, but me out here, last year was the only year I've done anything out here other than California.
Okay.
It was because I drove out last year. This year I had to fly and my dad drove out. But so this year, and we're doing the same thing as last year almost. We're gonna do California. We're doing Sand Hollow again,
Okay,
Utah, and we're doing Arizona.
Okay.
Last year we went to Arizona just to wheel with Wrecked Gear, those
Okay.
guys. We
Okay.
did a video with them. That was really
Yeah.
fun. Some of the
Saw
most out there in Arizona, some of the most hardcore wheeling we have ever seen.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff out there. But this year, in a couple weeks, out in Baghdad, Arizona, we're gonna do the We Rock competition. I'm gonna compete in it.
Okay.
So I'm nervous for that, but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, heck yeah.
We're just gonna try our best. We're not gonna push it too far if we don't want to do it. We're just gonna go out there,
Yeah.
have fun,
Okay.
do as good as we can, just like last time.
So I'm not familiar with that area. Is that an artificial course? Setup
No.
course, or it's
Baghdad?
all organic. All
No,
natural?
it's just the natural course.
Oh,
Yep.
right on.
Yep.
Cool.
I hear and see that Baghdad's just like the big side of a mountain, most of it.
Okay. Yeah, that's new.
tell
I've
them
never
about
heard
the
of that. Baghdad to me means Iraq. So
Yeah, right?
Charlie has one big.
Okay. What do you got?
Yeah, out East Coast, one big thing out at AOA, they made this trail called the Mammoth. They cleared way too much dirt, and it was so they had a huge big line of just huge crazy boulders that they set in there, and they found some of them, dumped some of them. They made the course just super long, like straight, just go, but I mean, the holes in there, you could fit your entire buggy in it. It would get
my
stuck.
gosh.
Like, it's terrible. But we went there. We were invited the opening day of it for like the very first time anyone ever drove on it. It was like 98 degrees out, right? So, and that's when I had a raw chassis on mine and everything before we put all the coolers in.
Okay.
So it was so hot because a moon buggy, I'm sitting right on like the engine, like right in front of it.
Yeah.
So we went again, and we were going, and everyone was saying how like, oh, it can't be done in the one day. And then we went out there and we heard that, and we were like,
Challenge accepted.
yeah, put that to the test. We did it.
Someone owes you a cheeseburger. Still.
Oh yeah.
Get a cheeseburger coming your way.
So it was very, very mentally and physically exhausting. Dad had to run the whole thing because he was spotting me. That must have been terrible. But just it got to the point like where mentally we were just like, turn the back up tires to the down. It was like that was stuff that he was actually saying. I'm like, what do you want me to do, Dad?
What does that mean?
He might have had a heat stroke.
That's hilarious.
But it's just, it was so technical there. It was, you move an inch, then you gotta like turn your tires all the way back up another inch and then move. It was little by little by little.
Oh, yeah.
But we're still the only people to ever do that trail. Like, to
Really?
actually all the way. People have done like a couple sections, but we're the only ones that have finished it and the only ones who have done it start all the way through. We didn't have any help or anything, no breaking down. We did it.
That's awesome.
It was tough.
Isn't it cool accomplishment?
Oh, no winching at all.
No winching.
That's
no
one.
winching.
That's one thing that we're big about. We try not to winch as much as possible. So we did that. I remember on the way back, Dad rode on the roof. He sat on the roof of my buggy because he was like walking, jumping around on the rocks for so
Right.
long. It's like he just sat on my roof and I slowly went back.
Because you're just single seater.
Yeah. Single seater.
Yeah.
We want to go back with Dad's buggy and do it.
Yeah.
So, because I can't imagine what he'll do with his.
So, kind of, you mentioned the buggy and the single seat. We haven't heard the whole description of your rig at this point. Can you talk about it?
So, I have a single seat Jesse Haynes fabrication moon buggy. Got a 1.2 turbocharged Ecotech on it.
Okay.
It's got the Toyota
8.4s.
8.4s.
Hummer portals.
Yeah, it's got the Hummer portals on it. That's one big thing.
Right.
Portal life. It's
life.
It's great.
Hashtag portal
Well, I
life.
think
Yeah.
pretty much anybody in that category of wheeling is going to run portals at this point, just to gain that ground clearance advantage.
They're very heavy, but they just, if I didn't have them on mine, it would be totally different ball game. I mean, it's very easy decision to give that up for the extra ground clearance.
Oh,
Well, you
ground
say
clearance.
heavy, but that's the stuff that keeps you
Down
planted.
Yeah, and
low,
it's so
too.
down low. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna keep you planted, like you said.
Low center of gravity.
Yeah, so we got the portals on it. It's great. We put beefy gears in it.
All Jesse's upgrades.
Oh yeah, all of Jesse Haynes upgrades. We're always talking to him about stuff we can do. It's got a handbrake for each individual tire. We got a rear and front suck down winch. I haven't used the rear suck down winch yet because we
Okay.
just put it on before I got here.
Oh.
They actually put it on out at Jesse's house before, like while I was still home. So
What about transmission?
904.
Yeah, 904 automatic transmission.
Okay.
And the transfer case is actually really cool. It's upside down because everything's like backwards in it. So
Uh-huh.
it's
Dana 300.
Yeah, Dana 300.
300, okay.
It's upside down, so you can see in the bottom of it, like because it's clear. You can you see everything.
That's cool.
It's really neat to look at.
Just kind of well, it's still good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gears are turning.
People will look at it and they'll be like, "Is the oil supposed to bubble that much?" I'm like, "I don't know. Does yours?" And they're
Yeah.
and
I'll never see it. Never see my oil.
So lockers front and rear also,
Yep.
obviously. You know, ARBs.
Yep, ARB lockers.
ARB, so you can select
Front
them
and
and do
rear,
your
Rad
digs
flow.
and
Yep, got the rad flow shocks there.
flow shocks.
We ran ORIs in my old buggy, and we run in Big Silver. I mean, the ORIs are great, but I got in these, and they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, just the stuff that it does is just crazy. Like, you wouldn't imagine it to do it. It's just you push it more and more, and it goes. It's like, you're like, when is it going to stop? But it doesn't. It's
Right.
it's everything just articulates and moves so well on that thing. It's great.
So with getting to drive East Coast, West Coast, and in between, what's one of your favorite trails that you just love to do? Whether it's rec wheeling or competition or
One I like.
that's our neighbor.
Yeah.
Getting ready to go
Say
here.
hello.
Yeah.
So,
It's locked. It's fine.
I'll get it.
You got the
All right. So one of the trails that I like out here, a trail that we made a few years ago that they're actually using on the course this year, Thor's Hammer. It's I remember we broke that. We got to the top, and we were like thinking of names up there. I was like, I want to name it Cupcake, and then everyone was like, no, you can't do that. So we thought of Thor's Hammer. We were with all our buddies going on that. Then eventually we went. The year after, we got a sign cut out in Hammertown, and we went up to the store, got like some of that like cement stuff, and put it in the ground right there, and they're using it in the race this year, so that's going to be interesting.
So you got to help break that trail?
I was the one who broke it.
Nice.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So that we heard that it was going to be on there, and we were like, "Oh my god, it was so cool!" And then once they started saying it, like on the live YouTube feed and everything, and on the video of whose video was it again that went up it on the side by side?
Casey Curry.
Yeah, Casey Curry's video
Casey
on it.
Curry.
He was like, "We think this is going to be on the trail," and I was like, "Oh, I hope it is." And then we saw it on the live feed on KOH. They were talking about it. I was like, it's great. I sent this to everyone who we were with. I was like, the trail's going to be on there.
So you broke that trail last year?
No, a few years ago.
2 years ago? Okay.
No, it might have been like 3 years ago, I think.
A couple years.
Okay.
That's epic. I mean, it's
Yeah.
super cool. I mean, have you been able to wheel with like Cody Wagner or anything like that out here?
I haven't. So last year we were in Lasertown, and he was out there with Pretty Penny and everything by his rock pile, and we went and we said hi to him, and then I thought he was joking around. He was like, "Yeah, why don't you get in it and drive it around?" That was before I had my moon buggy.
Oh, that's right.
That's one of the things that motivated us to buy one. So he was like, "Yeah, why don't you get in it?"
80 grand.
Right.
Right?
We got in it. We drove it around. I drove it over the rock pile. I was like, it's crazy. I thought he was joking around at first. Like, I was just laughing it off. And then he was like, actually, get in it, drive it. I sat in it. I went over the rock pile. I was playing around on it. It was really crazy to drive something that capable.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's one of the things that really pushed us
You
to
were
buy
really,
a
really
moon buggy.
hooked at that point.
Yeah. going from the 2-seat, 99-inch wheelbase, solid axle, it's a big difference.
Sure.
Now we got single-seater, rear steer, 108 wheelbase, like right around.
Tons of clearance.
Oh, yeah. Crazy.
So that's cool that you mentioned Thor's Hammer, because when I arrived on the lake bed Wednesday night, Thursday, our first trail was Thor's Hammer.
Really?
We went up there. We wanted to run.
Yeah.
So I was running with the Wicks and the Rufus crew. And they said, hey, I go, where are we going? They go, just follow. I didn't know where we're going. Then we pull up and I go, oh, we're on Thor's Hammer. All right. So that was my first, not even a warm-up run out here. Let's just go straight to Thor's Hammer.
I see a lot of the Ultra 4 guys, they're going, because it's Ultra 4, you don't want to beat it up that bad like rock crawler. So they're all going on, the side, hilling it on, the side of the obstacle.
Yes.
The obstacle is in the middle.
But
where you're
it funnels into it. There's no way of getting around that obstacle.
Towards the top, there's no way to get around it, right?
Nope, that little S-turn area. So what's interesting, we ran Thor's Hammer, Blue Dot, Z-Walk, with the Rufus crew for Zandy, and that was super cool. Yeah. So I had Slauson in front of us, and he was trying in Gold Digger to make it up the waterfall, the optional waterfall up to the top to the right. Didn't make it. Comes back down. Goes to his wife, Krista, says, you need to try that waterfall. Of course, she makes it right up. So then Randy had to do it. Randy
you got to do it now.
And then Eric's trying in his bomber buggy. Just couldn't get it. He was so close.
Yeah.
And then so Randy goes to me, he goes, you going to try it? And I go, I'm going to stick my nose in it and see. And then I had to work at it a little bit, but then I made it up. So we were the only three to make it up that optional waterfall at the top of Z-Walk. But then we came all the way back down, and I was wanted to get back to camp. I'm like, I got to get camp set up. I hadn't even set up anything. Just pulled the buggy off the trailer. And so I had one of the Australian kids, Zayden, riding with me from the Rufus crew, 15-year-old kid, and we'd all separated, and I'm like, I ended up at the top of Thor's Hammer again. I'm like, well, you want to run down it?
Oh, God.
And it's like, okay. So we're running down solo. I see Bailey Cole coming up in his dad's, bomber chassis. Mm-hmm. So we BS for a little while. And then I come down, and there's Levi Shirley standing there in his brand new car, wadded up in that spot, that tight spot that there's no way around. And he was, he's got that giggle pin winch that I don't know how many 1,000 pounds it is, 25, some crazy
Millions,
amount.
all a pound.
Yeah. And he kept snapping winch lines.
Wow.
So we got up there, and I put a winch line on him, and I couldn't pull him. And then so I said, hey, I got a snatch block. So after working on the car, his rear end was stuck between a rock in the back and a rock in the front. It needed to go up, so we jacked it up, and then we took a snatch block to his winch, so we had doubled his winching power, which, I don't know, 50,000 pounds, let's just say. I had my 12,000 pound winch, and we were able to unstick him, barely. But we were working at it for like an hour and a half. So that's Thor's hammer. And then got to run it a couple days ago, and it changed so much between from when we first did it, when we got here, to now. The new lines burned in and stuff from all the racers running it. But go ahead. No, go ahead.
Like I said, I haven't been out yet, so I haven't gotten to see it this year. I've just seen the videos, so I just see all the racers going around and everything. It seems busy because I see everyone
busy.
I see videos all the time of people running it. It's really cool.
You're going to be amazed at how much has changed since you ran it last year. You ran it last year again, right? Yeah. So it's totally changed. But how cool is it to be out here at KOH and run the same trails that the racers are racing?
Oh yeah.
It's really cool when you're running up the trail and you're off to the side and you hear just wah 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 and they're just flying up behind you. You're like, oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
Right? It's super cool.
It's pretty awesome. You see the stuff that they're doing. I mean, of course, crawling is completely different than hitting it at like 6,000 RPMs, just flying at it.
No, the technical crawling is not really a thing during KOH.
No, not during the race.
So it's different, but it's awesome to see all that, and now it's awesome to see them going on the trail that I made.
There you go. That's cool. Extra special. That's really cool. I knew you had run it, but I didn't know that was one of the trails you cut. So that's super cool. What about at Sand Hollow? What's one of your favorite trails at Sand Hollow?
Ooh.
There's so many great trails.
There was a lot of great trails. I loved it. That place was so nice. I want to try that one again. I want to try the one again where, remember where we were like, it was off to the left side with like all the holes in the wall that no one was able to make it up. There was like that wall off to the left and it had like all the holes in it and no one was able to make it.
Like King's Crack up there on the top?
That might have been where it was.
We don't know our way around.
Yeah, it's so hard out there.
I've been there.
We get a tour from Rich Klein when we go.
There you go. There you go.
We got some. Oh, those were good trails that we did with him. I liked those trails with Rich Klein. He brought us through some good stuff.
The cracks where you're straddling.
I don't know the names of half of them. I've been there once.
Okay.
So all I know is it's awesome.
There's some great wheeling out there. Super technical, and especially with a very capable rig. It's fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what I do this year, because last year I had that 99-inch wheelbase solid axle, and I was still doing pretty good. I mean, that thing was great, but this is just still the level of difference from that to this is crazy. So what I'll be able to do this year, I'm gonna do the craziest stuff that they've got.
There you go. I like what I'm hearing.
Has anything scared you yet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've
freaked you out
a few times. Just because my old buggy, I sat so high up in it so I could actually see over the front hood. I'm so like low down and everything now. I'm always like, I get to a point and I feel like I'm gonna flip because it felt so tipsy in the old one.
Mm-hmm.
So I just get really scared doing like the drop offs and everything. But I've gotten used to it and I realize that this thing can do anything.
Yeah,
Jesse builds quite a car.
He does.
So your car's here, right?
Yeah, my car is parked at camp.
Okay.
We're camped a bit away. Like we got to drive, and it's not that far.
Get out of the chaos a little bit.
Yeah, we used to camp right in here.
Uh-huh.
But that's when we were like the first people in the lake bed.
Right.
Back when we used to fly out because we would get here really early. But yeah, mine's parked over there, and Dad's is getting some stuff done to it right now, and then we got the Dr. Willie's 4-wheel drive guys over there with us. We got our buddy Clayton. He just got his buggy all finished up. He's out here with us.
Okay.
We got a good crew out here.
Got a crew ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Ready to get some wheeling in.
So you're going to stick around for a few days after KOH then?
Yeah, we're gonna try to stick around for a little bit more, and then it's Arizona, and we go to the competition, wheel a little bit with the wrecked gear guys there, and then we go to Sand Hollow, Utah.
That's cool.
Sweet. No, it's a full schedule, right on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did a little collaboration with Rec Gear,
Yeah.
Bronson and Jess out here. Sunday we ran Turkey Claw,
That's right.
and that was a lot
Oh
of fun.
my God, turkey claw.
And we were like, how many people are going to show up, you know? And I said 30 people, and Bronson goes, no way, we had 50 rigs out there.
They stopped
on
counting
Sunday
at
morning. It was so much
46
fun.
or 47.
It was like what, 2 years ago or 2 or 3 years ago. We were out there, and it was one of the days where it was super packed. It was down at the bottom, of course, all the guys in their buggies that weren't like full, like crazy stuff. They were down there, so we kind of just went around, went to the top. I remember there was like a few like rock bouncers with like 50-inch tires there, just like. And that was like whoa, but it was like right in front of them was this huge. They all went around it, but there was this huge slab that was just super flat and smooth slab.
Oh, on the left side.
No, it was on the right. The left was a bypass.
Okay.
It was, but of course that was when I was riding with Dad. My buggy wasn't out there, and we went up there. Dad was like, "Yeah, let's try to do it." It was scary. We were just wailing on it, trying to get traction. We couldn't, and we rolled over, did a couple barrel rolls. That was my first time ever rolling.
Oh, I was going to ask you about when your first rollover experience.
That was my first ever rollover. We did a couple barrel rolls down. No, everything was all fine. It was just a couple water bottles out the door and everything. But we got it flipped right back over. Our buddy winched us over. Everything was fine, and we kind of just said, all right, that's good.
We're good. Everybody's good.
Let's go back to camp and have a beer. Well, not you, but
So, Dad, apparently I wasn't here, but apparently he went back to that same thing and did it with no problem at all.
Really?
And his new Jesse Haynes 2-seater.
Of course.
Yeah, he did that with no problem at all. I would have loved to see it. But
All right. Well, you get to see it this week coming up here. So, with the races going on, who's some of your favorite drivers that you like to follow and watch?
I mean, of course, like the obvious ones, like Eric Miller. He is such a good guy, and he's like, I don't know. I consider him my friend. He's so cool and he's so nice. Like we go over into his camp and we say hi. We sit there, we talk. Yesterday, 2 days ago, when he was sitting in my buggy. He was like,
really?
"How do you even work in this thing?" Because it's so tight. But
That's cool.
It's great. And then also the Campbells.
Of course.
We love them. Shannon used to do rock crawling with my dad. And of course Bailey and Wayland, them all. They're all so nice.
Sure.
oh, yeah, they're great,
They're all
great
friendly. Love them. I love to follow along with everything that they're doing.
Yeah. So you got to pick a winner now. We put people on the spot.
God.
Who's winning this race? You can have a couple options here of different whatever, but different classes, whatever. But who are you rooting for? Who's going to win this thing this year?
Now remember, the trail was built in a bomber.
Right.
Solid axle front.
So it's like, okay, how about that? So solid axle car or IFS going to win, or a Can-Am?
They're getting close enough now.
I know.
Yeah,
But I don't know. They're both good for different things. I think the solid axle.
Okay, you're going with solid axle. I
like
agree with you.
Because better on the rocks. They're still great to do in the fast. I like that a lot more. I really want, I really, the people that I said who are my top favorite.
I know, it's tough.
Like Eric, Shannon, Waylon, and Bailey. They're the ones that I've known for the longest, and they're always so nice to me. So
Well, there it is.
Yeah.
And so I hope that they're the ones out there.
Yeah.
But Eric Miller drives a front solid axle.
He's a solid axle choice.
and the
That's
Camels are all
your group
IFS.
there.
Oh yeah.
So,
but they're all great drivers, and they have
yeah.
such capable rigs. It's
sure.
just
It's so hard to pick just one.
Yeah, you can't.
I got to put you on the spot, though, because that's the question we ask everybody out here. And it's
but those are the ones that I want to be at the very top.
right. Absolutely. That's cool. Yeah, and I know poor Waylon's been having some engine problems, so he's been back and forth.
He had to drive
that.
back like 2 different times.
It's crazy.
We were going up to a dyno place because we were getting Dad's buggy dynoed. When we were driving up there, we saw him leaving there when we were like just getting there. So like we just passed him.
Right.
So he's been running around.
I know.
But
We saw his car come down the hill a couple hours ago. So
did you? Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, he drove down the road just
that thing is mean.
Okay,
that
I
is.
know.
Oh, it sounds rowdy.
Yeah.
So
So you want to give a shout out to some of your sponsors here and got you into this rock crawling deal, and who would that be, Charlie?
That
Who
would be my dad.
right on.
Dad, the Bank of Dad.
Yeah.
Financing this thing. Well, what a
Shelby from Walmart.
So you're.
There was-
Oh, go ahead.
There was one time at Walmart, we were, because of course you can't go to Walmart. You gotta go like no, you can't not go to Walmart. You gotta go every day.
Right.
Right.
So there was this one lady working there. Her name was like Shelby. So I was handing her like my business card and stuff, talking about it. So from there on, Shelby, my marketing partner from Walmart.
That's awesome.
There you go.
But we got a lot of stuff. Rugged Radios, they helped us out a lot getting stuff for our new buggies. They help. We run that. I have a little 570 Polaris Ace at home. I got Rugged Radios in that.
Oh, cool.
We have a million handhelds. We got the big systems in our buggies. They helped us out a lot with everything, and we love everything that they do. We've been using them for so long. It's great. I mean, they've gotten us out of quite a lot of tight places.
Sure.
Like, remember at Upper Bender Alley that one time? We were out. One of the guys flipped at the waterfall at Upper Bender Alley at the very top.
Yeah.
And of course, Big Silver's the one who always has to tow everyone out. So we were towing them back, and it was pitch black. We could not see a thing. But we were just going off the radios the entire time because you couldn't see anything. So just going off the radios the entire time on what to do, where to go, what to say. Like, it's...
Right on.
That's cool.
And then we also got Tom Woods drive shafts.
Oh, yeah.
They're great. They're great to us. They're always sending us stuff out. We're like, they're great. They know my dad. Dad knew Tom Woods for so long, and
I still do, unfortunately.
Yeah.
and then I've been in contact with Sean when we've been working to get a bunch of stuff. They help us out tremendously. We love their drive shafts. They work so great.
Great.
Right on.
And then we also got I don't know what kind of winch my new buggy has, but I know Warren winches.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a Warren winch on mine? Probably, right?
Just the front one.
Just the front one.
Mm-hmm. We're hoping we're going to get it.
Yeah.
right.
There you go.
The rear one was just like we didn't order one for it. It was there, so we put it on.
Sure.
But I know like Big Silver has like the biggest, most heavy duty winch you can get from them.
Right.
And we're using them. Not that we winch a lot, but when we gotta winch other people,
Yeah, there you go.
that's when it comes in helpful.
Toyotas and stuff.
You just want it to work. That's
In case anything happens, worst comes to worst, if something breaks,
Yeah.
you gotta have it, and they're so reliable and good. It's phenomenal. And of course, our Radflow shocks have been working great. I didn't know how I was gonna like them. I mean, everyone seems to like them that runs them. They are really like smooth. They're good. They're great in everything.
Works well for rock crawling for sure.
They're certainly the new guy on the block, and they're making a name for themselves. So that's cool.
Dad, why don't you talk about the shocks that you got on yours?
You should talk about Jesse Haynes.
Okay.
I was going to say.
Anything you're going to do is Jesse Haynes is building the stuff that we believe in right now. He's cutting edge.
There you go.
It's all just Jesse Haynes. He helps us out with everything that we're like, yeah, you think about this. We're always talking to him, asking him about some of his ideas. Makes the best of the best stuff. My dad's new buggy has these new shocks that Jesse made with Radflow. Dad says that they're like the best thing.
Uh-huh.
He loves them so much because he says he can go super fast through the whoops, and when it comes to crawling, it's like
Still real
super
stable.
great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we got just a lot of nice stuff in ours. We switched over to Vision wheels just because we're trying them out. We're trying out new things, right? Can't hurt. They seem to be working really good. We like them.
What tires you running?
Oh yeah, 43 SX Super Swampers. Yeah,
We get a lot of flack.
of course.
That's what I got on my buggy.
And indestructible.
It's great.
Yeah. I love those tires.
Oh yeah, they're great. My dad's been through a few things through the years when he used to just compete and do a few things, but now when we don't really do a lot of competitions, so when we're always trail wheeling, they're just so strong and they work great. So just why not run them?
Yeah,
they're
work.
great.
Absolutely.
Warm them up and let them eat.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Exactly.
It. Just let them. Oh, I love that. Getting this little smoke coming.
You got
off
to
the
do that
tire.
sometimes. You got to.
Yeah,
And it
then
works. It works so good. The stickies.
Then you just hit it with your purse and up you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on. That's super.
That's cool. So what's the future hold for you, Charlie? I know you. I love the passion. I love the relationship that you and your dad have. The passion to share the passion for the sport. You're just starting out in this rock crawling scene, but it sounds like you're in it for a long haul here.
I'm hoping to be. It's a expensive haul, but a long one.
Yeah, well, that's all right. But you got great stories to tell, and that's at the end of the day, that's what matters.
That's right.
Hoping to do a lot more competitions. I definitely want to go trail wheeling all the time still. Definitely can't wait for school to be over so I don't have to worry about that.
I know.
Me and Dad could just go wherever we
There
want
you
and
go.
do whatever.
Right.
But I want to do a couple more competitions. Definitely just get out
What
to some new
competitions in
places.
2023 you got lined up or eyes on?
So we got in a couple weeks, we have the Baghdad, Arizona one for We Rock.
Yeah.
And back out east, we do X Rock.
Okay.
That was my first competition I did, but Dad's done a lot of their stuff. Dad's done everything.
Yeah.
So.
But it's cool to have him in your back pocket there to help you out.
We want to try to do as much as we can, which hopefully will be a lot of them.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
So really
Cool.
just trying to have fun. I mean, I'm sure our buggies are fine for the next God knows how long because they're just they're so advanced.
Cool.
We're lucky.
Yeah, that's good.
Definitely lucky.
Yeah, you appreciate. Well, and it's cool starting out as young as you did from quad, moving on up to now a Jesse Haynes 4-steer buggy. I mean, not much. You're pretty much at the top there, kid.
Not much better than that. We're definitely really lucky. We got a lot of good friends who help take care of us. And of course, Dad is great to me. He's the best. And
good.
oh my God, Mom, she is.
A saint.
Yes, she is a saint, to say the least.
Put up with all this, yeah. Got to be a saint.
She's gonna hear this show and be like, "Why am I at home?"
Yeah. She used to always go around with my dad to his competitions, and one of my biggest supporters is my mom.
Sure.
Probably my biggest supporter is my mom. She's like, doesn't care if I do good or bad. It's just you did great. Oh my God, Aunt Hannah. She's always calling me, asking how everything's going. She's always right there with me.
The older sister or younger sister?
Older sister.
Okay.
She's 18, right?
Okay.
I always forget if she's 17 or 18.
She's a badass.
Yeah, she is the coolest as they come. She's awesome. She drives too. She drives Big Silver around now. 'Cause
Okay.
She used to drive Little Silver, and I would drive it. She drives Big Silver sometimes when she comes with us. But between work and she's doing online college right now, so she has a lot going on. So she can't really come out that much.
Yeah.
Because she's big into horses. We have horses at home for her.
Yeah.
Her and
There you
Mom.
go, Chris.
So
I got a horse.
so they're always they someone needs to take care of them, so they can't come as often, but
Sure.
they'll come to Pennsylvania a lot. She had my quad that I started out on, but when she moved up, I got that one, and then we would always go out and I remember we had the most crazy things back on our like 400, 450 quads. We would, when we were younger, we would go to AOAA through the huge mud puddles that we'd be standing on our seats trying to go through. I remember this one time where she took, it was really wide, covering the entire thing. She took the right side, and I took straight through the middle. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go through this. She went through it. It was really tough. I went through it, got stuck in the middle. We were in our dad had the RZR. He had to winch me out of it. We have the greatest times. She's the best. I wish she could be out here right now.
Really, a family that wheels together stays together, right?
Yeah,
You guys got a great family dynamic. That's super
It's
cool.
great.
That's awesome.
Right on. Well, anything else, Charlie? You wanna let our listeners know? about you? We covered a lot of ground here.
We did.
All right.
Did.
So
I
we
have one thing.
we got solid axle, Eric Miller for the win is what I'm getting out of this.
Yeah, that's the. Yeah, you got it right.
All right.
Everyone else is like right there, but.
All right, Dad, what do you have to say?
I just want to say thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I've been doing this for a long time, and the community of four-wheelers in the industry is absolutely amazing. It's very rare that you want to let your family around certain people.
Right.
And it seems the four-wheel drive community is amazing how they rally together and they help you raise your children and bring them into something that's really, really amazing. I couldn't be prouder of my son, my daughter, my family, but also my off-road community.
Sure.
It is absolutely amazing when I watch what's going on. And you gentlemen and what you're doing, you're molding my son right now as we do this, and it's emotional to me.
That's cool.
So thank you, and I feel that way about Bronson and Jessica from Rescue.
Yeah, right.
And there's just so many great people, and I'm a very blessed, lucky man.
You are.
And I say it all the time. It doesn't get much better than this.
No.
And I look at what's going on, and I watch my son interact with all the different people. Hard not to say much, but I want to thank you because I believe our country is going to change for the better as time goes on because we're in a low spot right now.
Yeah.
And because of gentlemen like you sharing with other people our youth and the good stuff that's coming of it, it gives a lot of people hope. And it's a big deal. And I believe the off-road culture in itself, we're a breed that's not going anywhere, and we're going to keep America in the right direction.
Absolutely.
So thank you for what you do. Thank you for being here. Thank you for treating my son with such respect. Everything that we did, and I hope to see everybody soon.
All right,
Let's keep wheeling.
That's awesome, Charlie. No, appreciate that, and it is fun. You know, we do this podcast to get the stories out there, and it's cool. And we, you know, you don't have to be the Lauren Healy's of the world to get all that fame and stuff. It's like there's so many stories in off-roading, right?
Yeah.
And you know, Charlie Jr., little Charlie coming up here. I mean, I can see you're gonna nail it, man. You're gonna be
Thank you.
You're gonna be right there with the Campbells and the Healys and Paul Wolf coming up now. I mean, it's the big names, right?
And the Cody Wagners.
Yeah, you
Thank you.
You're in it to win it, and I love it. And the key is the passion, and that's what you got. So keep your eye on the prize, kid, and we're looking forward to interviewing you here in the future after a few wins
Thank you,
at
definitely.
the Rock Crawl Championships.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, that
All
sounds
right.
great.
Cool, man.
Best of luck.
All right.
What?
With that, Chris?
We're out.
And there it is. I mean,
Great story. Great
Fun.
tight family.
I love his dad was sitting there the whole time.
Yep.
And his dad is a legend in the rock crawling, industry. I don't know.
Sport.
Let's call it the
competitive
sport. We
sport.
always call it the sport.
Yep.
And super cool. He was emotional about the whole thing, and it's fun to be able to provide this platform, to talk about all things rock crawling, wheeling, and that was a cool moment. I really, that was one of my highlights at KOH was getting to sit down here with little Charlie and his dad and watch it get passed from generation to generation,
Father
right?
to son, that's right.
Yeah. And it's cool. I mean, this kid is going to absolutely freaking kill it.
Oh, he is, absolutely.
He's super passionate about the sport, and his dad is very proud of him, and that showed. And I love it. I just love it.
If he's that good at this age, I mean, what's he going to be like
I know,
in 10
right?
or 15 or 20 years?
Right. It's like...
have him going up against, Cody Wagner and all these like Jesse Haynes and whatnot, knocking them off their pedestals,
It is. It's cool. And, that's what's fun about this podcast is getting to talk to all these different people in the rock crawling world and just off-road world in general. But I obviously I gravitate towards the rock crawling side.
Yeah, you like the technical stuff.
I like the technical stuff. And if I was to compete, it would be doing the technical rock crawling, not Ultra 4 high speed, 8-hour, 10-hour car crash across the Johnson Valley Desert. So
you could do it in a side-by-side, and you could have BJ
golf cart?
Jay Berry's sidekick.
Oh, I don't know if there's enough whiskey to do that. No, it's good, man. It's all good. So, very cool to hear Charlie's story,
For
and
sure.
And I just cannot wait to see where he goes.
Oh no, we're going to keep on watching, and we'll have him on the show in various times.
Yes, there
time,
will be a follow-up episode with Charlie when he's, he's already kicking ass, but even more kicking ass and got trophies. He's going to have to build a whole separate wing on the estate there
for his
for
trophy
the trophies.
case.
Yeah,
Trophy wing, not just a trophy case.
No doubt about it. So it's fun, getting in on, let's just say, the ground floor of this operation,
Right.
because he's going up and he's gonna kick ass and take names. So
Well, right, and as we've said in the show over and over again, to be able to excel in the sport, you need to have the full support of your family and friends. And
he definitely does.
He's got that in
Yep.
spades. So.
Yep, you're right. Very well said. So awesome stuff. KOH just keeps going, and we love it. And it was fun to sit down with everybody that we did at the lake bed.
Yeah, no, it was some epic stuff. I mean, episode 200. I mean, episode 1.
Well, and that's it. And it's all the different people there. I mean, whether you're a celebrity or not, I don't care. But it's just fun to have them on the podcast and hear the stories, because everybody's got a story. And out on that lake bed, there's a lot of interesting stories.
Oh,
so,
for sure. No, we're just scratching the surface.
We
too.
are, but I feel that we did well this 2023 KOH, and having Charlie here on, I'm looking forward to talking to him in the future.
Absolutely.
So with that, Chris, we let's hit up how they can contact us.
Oh, the usual ways. You can contact us on Instagram with DM Jason or me at Wheeling Wine Whiskey. You can also email Jason or I at Chris or Jason at wheelingwinewhiskey.com. Don't forget about our website, www.wheelingwinewhiskey.com, where you'll find all of our old episodes, and of course our merchandise, where we're selling, swag, and we also are selling the Element fire extinguishers
and tactical mounts and rollbar mounts. We got those on there now.
That's
on
right.
the
Everything's
website,
in stock. Absolutely.
So you can buy an Element fire extinguisher and buy a mount that suits your needs.
That's correct. Don't forget about the phone number. What's that number?
What's that number? 408-800-5169.
408-800-5169. You can leave a voicemail there, a voice message there.
Yes.
And more than likely it's going to get played on the air.
Yeah. And, the final parting shot here
Across the bow?
Across the bow. Yes, across the bow is KOH 2023 rocked. And looking forward to the next one.
Oosh. Yeah, it's just only 300 and something days away.
Right.
Start planning your meal plan now.
Exactly. And unfortunately, Lorenzo did not get to meet little Charlie. And
No.
I'm a little remiss about that. He was missing for a short amount of time. But we'll make up for it next year, Charlie, and get a picture with you and Lorenzo. So he actually shed a tear. He was sad.
Wow.
So next year, 2024, this picture's happening with Lorenzo and little Charlie, and
And this just out. Apparently, Lorenzo's pressing charges.
Oh, okay, on his disappearance again.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's gotten street smarts, man. He this after that experience, he's not effing around anymore. So this is good.
It's packing heat.
He is. All right. With that,
we're out.